Cemetery.
Yeah, it is.
It looks to me like the old road went right through here.
Right.
And we'll be going by the modern day Lobb Church up on 7. But I suspect this road went up right up to it. Vicki, we have with us Howard King and his wife for Sales, Missouri, and they're related. They're related to Kate King. There is Levi Potts, who's over here, right there, who's related to half of Jackson County.
Oh yeah.
And half of the Quantrill guerrillas. 1930 at Jackson County Tour Farm, and shortly before her death she married a gentleman named Mr. Head, and so she became Sarah Head, and or at least that's what her name was when she died. Her death certificate shows that she was buried in Maple Hill Park Cemetery in Kansas City, Kansas, and that seemed kind of shaky to me, but you know, the undertaker for the Jackson County Tour Farm had some sort of contract with that cemetery, and so she was buried there, and that's what her death certificate shows. There's been a persistent story that Fred Ford and Arthur Dealey, who was also a relative of Kate King somehow, kidnapped her body out of a Kansas City funeral home that went bankrupt. It was one of these deals where they had caskets and bodies all over the spot that hadn't been buried properly, and brought it out here and buried her here. And the stone they erected is right there. And it does not say she's buried here. It says stone erected.
Well, it's in the library, but I can ask my cousin.
And so, what do you think, Vicki, after years of researching the story?
Ironically, since it's been so long since I looked at anything, I got my files out. And you know, it's funny when you look back and then you see things you didn't see before. In there is a letter, an original letter from Fred Ford, saying that his cousin or aunt, Josie Potts King, assures him that Aunt Kate, as he called her, was not really buried or she wasn't buried on the poor farm. And so you'll never guess where she's buried, Maple Hill, Kansas. And that's a letter in his own writing. Now the story, I don't know, you know, Donald Hell said he likes to tell stories, and I know Fred likes to tell stories, you know, from the letters. Some of the things in his letters aren't quite right, but.
Was she definitely married to Quantrill, or is that in the air also?
Well, that was the day before
One way or another.
Marriage certificates were required, as you know, probably. And all that had to be done was write it in the minister's book. Maybe the minister was that married her. There was a famous guerrilla preacher from Oak Grove named Bledsoe or something like that. And his book has survived, and he did a lot of guerrilla weddings, but that one's not in there. And one explanation, which I don't believe, is he didn't write it in there because he didn't want Kate King's family to get in trouble, but I don't think that was the fact.